Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your dearly stunning host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
Matt, welcome to spring training.
Baseball's back, baby.
Not only is it back, how great are pictures when they come in of the guys just walking in with their coffee cup in hand, especially when pitchers and catchers first report, when you see the guys the first time, and then a couple days later to see the pictures of them in Orioles gear just throwing like warm-up pitches and batting practice. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, I got to go to Mercer opened up their baseball season on Friday, so I went to that game. So that was an actual real-life baseball game, like counts regular season baseball game. So college baseball is back and at 'em. And, yeah, it's good to see spring training. I'm already tired of Saguna looks so good in the throwing his warm-ups. Oh, he's always throwing right around the strike zone.
Have you seen this?
Come on now.
Have you seen the spray charts though from his Japanese career?
Yeah, I'm intrigued by his data, and
this data is interesting.
Yeah, but someone observing one bullpen session and kind of reaching having all these conclusions to reach.
No, for me the most fascinating thing about Tommy, who I'm calling him Tommy, even though it's like Tomoko or whatever.
Saguna, yeah.
Yeah, but no, his first name.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it, so I'm calling him Tommy, Saguna. The most fascinating that I've seen out of spring training is his drawing of a crab. Because it's like perfect.
His drawing of a crab?
Yeah. I'll find it.
That. Yeah,
I'll find it for you. You know how they always do let's get Adley Rutschman to draw the Oriole logo.
Yeah.
So they had Saguna draw a crab.
Well,
and it was pretty much perfect.
I mean, they eat crabs in Japan, right?
No, I'm not. Yes, but can you draw a crab?
Can I draw a crab?
Yes.
Maybe if I went to one of those YouTube draw a crab videos.
No, but these things, they just go and tell them, all right, draw a crab.
Yeah.
And
all right, he's a bit of an artist.
Yeah, he was a bit of an artist. Again, trying to say I agree with you that I don't take anything away from his spring training sessions, but while at the same time, the more I've looked into his stats, I'm excited about his spray charts and everything from Japan, if that can translate.
Yeah, that if they can translate. I like what you did there. But that's to me in terms of, and maybe we can get into some spring training storylines. What are we paying attention to? The whole starting pitching staff and how that's going to shake out, and specifically, the Saguna situation.
Yes.
And how well his stuff will translate into the majors is, I think, an open question. And so I'm really curious to see how he does in spring training. And then in a larger sense, how kind of the starting pitching rotation shakes out. I think one of the big things to watch this spring.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And I think the quote.
Look at us jumping right into Orioles baseball talk. I want to talk about something else too that's been on my mind, but look at us jumping right into bottom.
I think the quotes from Charlie Morton today excite me as well, where he's feeling comfortable. But Matt, look at that crab. I can't draw anything like that.
Oh, yeah, it was just slowly getting to focus. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's slowly getting to focus or if like my eyes now slowly focus on things. But no, that's a good looking crab.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, Saguna, I'm not, that's the only thing new I've seen from him at spring training.
So are we going to see that in a video on Camden Yards on the...
I assume so. I don't know where that picture came from.
On the small screen that they call Jumbotron.
Hey, did you see, we're all over the place. Did you see that we are getting a new sound system in time for this season? That they've been installing a new sound system in Camden Yards.
Yeah. Was that before or after Rubenstein said that they have They're unlimited.
They're unlimited.
They have no limits in terms of payroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that? I saw people. We're just jumping right into this. I saw people annoyed by that comment. Did that comment annoy you?
Did it annoy me?
Yeah.
Did it annoy me? Did it annoy me that he went all Alphaba and Glinda, that Mike Elias and Rubenstein are unlimited together and nothing can stop them, while at the same time
Not
we
spending any
acknowledge
money.
that we lost Santander and we lost Corbin Burns and we didn't sign any of the other top free agents, but money is unlimited. That I could see how some fans could take that the wrong way.
I can see that too.
But it's, I mean,
I don't. I find it encouraging. I find it more of the state of this team that Mike Elias doesn't think bringing in this star power will help. And it almost, to me, leans into the idea of letting the kids play, letting the young guys who work together, who like each other, play, and don't bring in a star that might mess up that rhythm. Now, I got questions about the bullpen, and I think there's another stupid thing that came out yesterday that don't tell me you're unlimited, but you couldn't spend $1 million on this move.
Oh yeah, I know where you're going with that. I don't want. I'm glad Elias kept his $1 million.
Really?
I'll say that. Yes.
All right. Well,
we'll
get to that in a little bit.
But no, I think the quote is what you want your owner to say. John Angelos never said that. He never said that. Go check the quotes. He never said that. That money. There's no financial restrictions.
He couldn't because he was being investigated by the IRS.
No, you're talking about Peter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Peter couldn't say that because he was being investigated.
Okay, is that why John's never opened up his books?
Oh yeah, because Daddy taught him well.
Yeah. So I guess on the one hand, I could see how that could be frustrating. On the other hand, I think going forward, that's good. I mean, they said Rubenstein had dinner or had lunch with Gunnar Henderson and some other players.
And Adley Rutschman, yeah.
And Adley Rutschman. I like that. I like to have my owners having lunch with my stars.
I do like that.
I know it was not necessarily a business meeting per se, but I mean, I think that's where it's going to come down to. If money's unlimited, well, why hasn't Gunnar been extended? Because I would buy your argument, Josh, that I don't think Santander was an extreme loss. I've made my feelings about Kerstedt known. I think we have a good plan in place.
I think we do.
And so I'm not crying over that one. But if you're willing to spend money, why haven't we made progress in a Gunnar Henderson extension or Jordan Westbrook extension?
Yeah, and Burns wasn't about money. So
he wanted to go back home. Yeah, he wanted to go back home.
But and
there was question marks with him in a long-term deal, right? His stuff had gone down the past couple years. How he would age is an open question that I think was fair to question.
And I think, and I understand Gunnar Henderson. It doesn't matter what the team wants if Scott Boras wants even more money. So you have that issue with Gunnar, but that doesn't. And Adley played poorly last year, and there's no way really around that. He took a step back.
That's another interesting storyline to watch this spring training. Bad second half last year. Cal is going to be his bounce back, and I know Josh is watching TikTok and the girlfriend. But yeah, we're paying attention now to Rutschman this spring training too. That's another storyline.
He looked like he was in better shape. I didn't see a belly.
Yeah,
I know you love that storyline.
Yeah.
But I would say, if I was to extend someone right now, I'd say really Jordan Westbrook. There's no excuse not to.
Yeah, it seems like a good fit to extend him.
Where I can make excuses for not extending everyone else.
Right. Also, just in David Rubenstein's defense here, there's an interesting article that just came out about 10 hours ago from Fangraphs called "The Orioles Are Baseball's Most Fascinating Team Building Puzzle."
You mean the article I told you about right before the podcast? Don't worry. It'll also be in tomorrow's Birdland Today.
Well, you mentioned it pre-show, and I just pulled it up.
Because it's a great headline.
Right, and I haven't read the article yet, to be honest. But they have a chart here at the beginning of the article. Did you see this chart?
Yes, about payrolls.
Do you believe that this is the people who have increased their payroll the most, and I don't understand. Like, how are the Mets not on here after signing Juan Soto? Anyway,
Right.
I get and signing I guess Pete Alonso was not a huge.
No,
I don't
but
know.
it was last year to this year team
Yeah. Anyway,
payroll.
and Dodgers increased the most. They increased by 63 million.
Yes.
And the Orioles are in there as second, going from 103 million to 161 million.
Correct.
A $58 million increase, the second biggest payroll increase according to this Fangraphs article.
Right.
In the offseason.
And what's crazy is that little graph doesn't show you, it's not the best way to show you how they really should have done it, is they should have done it percentage and how much you increased percent-wise. Because the Dodgers to go from 326 to 389, not that big a deal.
Right.
The Orioles to go from basically 100 to 160 is a huge increase.
Yeah, what kind of percentage increase is that, Josh?
That would be 160%? No.
That'd be a 50%, wouldn't it?
60%? 60% increase.
Yeah, 60, maybe 58%. Yeah. So no, I get the point. It's and it's a big increase, and that is partly because of the signings and partly because of arbitration.
Right. But we still like I am so glad to not be in Maryland for one reason right now.
The snow.
No, I miss the snow.
Oh, okay.
No,
Me too,
there is one sportscaster that I do not miss that is on, the Fan up there now, every day complaining about the Orioles and how the Orioles will never win anything and the Orioles suck and you can't take this team seriously. And it's your boy, so I know you miss him.
Yeah, which is weird because you're talking about Jason LaCampaca.
Yes.
And he was all over the prospects and the minor leaguers. And
yeah, back when do you think it was an access thing? Do you think it was he had access to go see Trey Mancini in the minors and
I don't
Manny
know, but he was like all supportive and all over the rebuild. Like he was very supportive of Mike Elias and the prospects coming up. And then he's totally switched.
He's just a hater.
Now he's turning to go a total hater. Yeah. And it's weird too, because like I hear him because I always listen to Tony Kornheiser's show and he comes on there and talks about football. And every time he comes on, he just sounds so like logical and like intelligent when he's talking about other people's teams. But it's like when he talks about his own team, he does it some with the Ravens too, criticizing the GMs of the Ravens. But like he can't, I guess he gets too close to it and he can't see it. Because I think he's really good when he offers analysis of other teams, but when it comes to his own teams, you're right, he is overly critical and almost like borderline insane.
Yes, he is
like Nestor, crazy. Like nasty Nestor stuff. Like
yes,
like a little bit off.
Like Nestor is more reasonable with the Orioles now than JCL.
Yeah.
Or JLC.
Yeah. Hey, we can get back to the Orioles. Can I just take a break and talk about something?
Sorry, we got for an Orioles podcast. We got into the Orioles way too early.
Yeah, it's just spring training. We're excited. We're excited for some baseball.
Definitely back. Excited.
I'm excited for my Twitter feed to actually be baseball again. For a while there, it was getting some weird stuff. So I'm happy for Twitter now just to be baseball again.
Yeah, I get confused every now and then on scroll on Twitter. Like, is Elon Musk suddenly in the Orioles clubhouse or something? Because it's like Elon, Orioles.
I know. It's almost like because he's all over not the following the Ford when I go to the Ford U side as opposed to the following side.
Yes,
he's all over there, and I don't follow him.
No, and it's normally just football stuff and baseball stuff. Normally, I did a really good job with my Twitter feed. I thought where it was very focused on Orioles and Ravens news, and now it's a whole lot of Elon.
Yeah, it's almost like he has some kind of secret access to X that allows his posts to be seen more.
Oh no! If it weren't for other people complaining and talking about him more, I see other people complaining about him other than him.
Oh, I don't see that. I just see his posts. I don't see that stuff. But anyway, we mentioned before, and I don't want to turn this into the old man show. And there's younger podcasts coming up with younger people. And we're the old men on the block and
the wise men.
Yeah, well. I mean, given what Josh said last week about his softball performance, and given a couple weeks ago before that, I talked about
I showed the kids up yesterday.
Okay.
And by kids, I mean 30-year-olds.
Good for you, old man.
Yep.
Uh, but we talked the other day about a few weeks ago about how I do my yearly checkup now, and
Oh,
I was
this is
giving.
great
I
because
have a-
mine is Thursday.
oh, good, because I have an update, and I wanted to ask you if you've gotten it yet, and you have it Thursday.
Thursday.
Did you have to find a doctor for this? How did you go about choosing a
No, it's the
a
same
physician?
doctor I saw 3 years ago.
Okay, all right, that's good. Let me know how it goes, because I got a phone call about my blood work, Josh.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
No, it was one of those where I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't
Uh-huh.
pick up, and then it went to voicemail, and it said we're so and so from the lab, and
Yeah. Did you call back?
we need to call back. Immediately, Josh. Immediately, someone says we
All right.
want to talk to you about your blood work. You immediately call back.
So what are you on? Blood pressure medicine now or something?
No, they said I had the makings of what the start of high cholesterol.
I'm sorry to laugh, but okay.
So I got that phone call, and then they go
Yes.
over like some stuff about the diet, and this is, first of all, this is crazy to me, because unlike you, and this is why I thought of you, because if something is wrong with my blood, Josh freaking eats Costco hot dogs and
Oh,
Taco
once a
Bell
week,
or whatever.
at least.
Yeah, and I eat maybe once a week. I'll do Chick-fil-A, but not even, maybe 3 times a month Chick-fil-A
Okay.
with the kids. But I don't go to fast food restaurants.
But remember, last time I went to the doctor, I was still older than you are now, 3 years ago, and they told me that my blood was perfect.
I know. So that's why I thought there has to be some sort of
Mistake.
mistake here. And so this is upsetting to me, and maybe some family history here. So immediately I say, well, this is Gigi and Pop-Up's fault.
Yeah.
For
I'm on, you know what? I'm on the path to be that old lady that lives to 104 and claims it's because she drinks Dr. Pepper and smokes a cigarette every day.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, I give Emily the bad news. I said, Emily, you need to sit down.
Did
They
she
called
also
about my
laugh?
blood work. I said, how should we talk about this with the kids? How do I broach this with the kids?
Matt, do you have a will ready yet?
I don't, but now all of a sudden I'm thinking I need to get something in the works.
Yeah. I was thinking of doing mine in the next couple months.
Yeah. I don't know what, Josh, high cholesterol even means. But
I don't know either. So that's why I laughed. Hopefully it's not bad.
It sounds bad to me, though. I sat down with Emily. I'm like, Emily, we need to sit and talk. And I told her what they said to me. And she said, and she did pretty much laugh and said, I don't think it's true. I was like, what, you don't think it's true? She's like, I don't see how you could have perfect blood work last year and this year. I don't think it's real. I don't think it's true. I think you have high cholesterol. And so she didn't believe it all. And then she went off into this, I don't really understand it. Something about diet and how they measure cholesterol, and high cholesterol isn't really high cholesterol anymore.
All right, so
she went into this whole thing about it.
Here are the foods that are worse for high cholesterol.
Yeah.
And I think this is your answer. Red meat, which I don't eat much red meat. Do you eat a lot of red meat?
No, I don't eat a lot of red meat.
Not while it's red, but you know what I mean. Beef.
Yeah, like burgers. Pork. Yeah,
no. Burgers. All right, whole milk.
No, I don't do. I don't do hardly any milk. Growing up, we were a gallon of milk. We would run through a gallon of milk when we were kids in 3 days. Yes. As a parent, we go through milk much less frequently.
I agree.
The whole thing that you got to drink 10, and even when we took Flora to her 3-year-old appointment, they came back with this thing and said you need to feed her 16 ounces of whole milk a day, like it's something from the 1980s. Like we don't, you don't do that anymore.
No, my kids don't drink milk like that anymore.
No, we drink soda and beer here. Milk,
baked goods and sweets.
I don't do a lot of baked goods and sweets. I do a little bit. I don't do a lot.
Fried foods.
Again, that's like my Chick-fil-A sandwich is fried, and there's fries.
And butter is the last thing on the list.
Again, I'm not cooking with ounces of butter here.
Right.
Emily you just cooks. Take a stick. She makes healthy things.
You just, when you're running out the door and need a snack, you just grab a stick of butter.
But that's what I'm saying, Josh. None of that stuff.
Okay.
That diet stuff matches me.
All
Like
right.
it's not. It doesn't
So,
make sense.
did you call them back and say, "Hey, my wife says I don't have high cholesterol"?
Well, no, they said I have to go back in 6 months for another one. So
Oh, so
I
they
don't
want
know
you to.
how I don't know how long your blood takes to kind of become cholesterol to not cholesterol. And like, does that if I like don't eat any red meat or fried food for 6 months, will I then no longer have the high cholesterol? I
I
don't
guess
know.
that's how it works.
Well, I'm keeping my same diet. I'm not even messing with it. I'm keeping my same diet.
Because you think it's broken,
I think it was a false positive here. I
and
don't
you
think
want
it's
to prove
true.
to them. You
I
want
don't
them. You
believe
want
it.
to go back in 6 months. They say you're fine, and say I didn't change anything. Your test is wrong.
Yes, take it to the man. No, yeah, and Emily thinks so
Okay.
too. She doesn't think it's true, and Emily's a nurse, so she should know a thing or two.
Okay.
She's not a
Was
lab-tician.
there
She's not.
was there any other bad news?
Yeah, there's something else. I forget what it was though. There was some. I don't know. What
Apparently, nothing you got to worry about then.
No, I don't really pay attention. There was some like enzyme in the liver or something. We just got to keep it on enzyme in the liver. I don't think it's really
Drinking too much.
It's possible. Now, see, if you want to get me on drinking, I mean, just for the podcast, a little Kona big wave. Maybe there could be something there, but high cholesterol, I don't think is linked at all to alcohol consumption. But maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't know. I go on Thursday.
Okay, I hope your blood work comes back. I mean, I don't want you to die, but I hope your blood work comes back with some funky stuff.
You're like, I hope you come back and say you have cancer.
I don't want
you to die. Just find it early.
Yeah, I don't want you to have cancer, but maybe a little bit of high cholesterol would be okay with me.
My wife thinks
all
I
those
have
hot
high.
dogs.
My wife thinks I might have high blood pressure,
Okay.
but I don't think so.
I also drink way too much coffee, but I don't think that's a high cholesterol thing either. Too. Like if you were told me like maybe high blood pressure related to too much coffee or something,
Right?
Are you chugging back 5 Red Bulls every day? I could buy that.
I drink 1 to 2. This is my second one today.
Josh, it is insane to me that at 9:02 p.m. you're drinking a Red Bull. I can't even. I almost want to stop the podcast.
To be fair,
just because old man me is like, you're going to be tossing and turning at 12 o'clock tonight.
No, it doesn't. Caffeine doesn't keep me up.
Okay.
And
Josh is the one person in the world immune to caffeine. Okay. Then why are you drinking it at all? You like the taste?
No, it just doesn't keep me awake.
Okay.
I love the taste of Red Bull. I'm so addicted to the taste of Red Bull. Here, I'll balance it out with a little out of office.
What's out of office there?
It's THC.
That's in liquid form? I'm so out of it. I didn't know you could even get it like that.
Yeah.
In a drink.
Yeah, it's like a alcohol alternative. Hemp derived THC beverage.
You can just buy that at any grocery store?
Or
you got to go to a specialty
I think you got to order them online. Okay. I don't know. These guys are a sponsor, and actually, I've never tried this one. This is a new brand.
Sounds more illegal by the sentence.
No, this is a new brand. I've taken their gummies for months, and now they have a new soda or sparkling cider. Or sparkling drink. I just came in the mail today. I just put it in the fridge. They are a Michael Mayer Show sponsor.
Okay.
So we'll see how it is.
Yeah. Back in my day, if we wanted that kind of stuff, you had to smoke something. But nowadays, they just put it all in a liquid.
The liquid or the gummies. I love the gummies. The gummies. Gummies are great.
Yeah, do the gummies. All right. Anyway, I just wanted to update you on my health scare.
You know what? Next week, I will give you my update.
Yeah, the blood work might take a little bit to get back. Are you doing the blood work too? Do you know?
Yeah, I do it all on Thursday, I think. So by next Monday, I should have the answers.
Yeah. Well, can I just share all my stuff was a little bit incomplete because I'm never able to perform under pressure. So I was not able to give them the urine sample.
Oh, okay. You had to do a urine sample?
It's part of the physical, Josh. They'll ask you for one too. I said I'll come back and do it.
It wasn't for my last physical, it was just blood.
Okay.
They normally ask for that. Oh no. They asked for that because they saw something in your liver.
Oh, Josh, you shouldn't be drinking all that THC then stuff if you're gonna do the urine sample. You're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna get fired.
You're gonna get fired from your job, dude.
Not fired from my job.
They're gonna tell your employer.
All right.
I hope Michael Mara is not listening.
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been real busy planning a couple events coming up for the Michael Mara show.
Yeah, I know you guys going to that Kentucky Derby event.
Yeah, we got a Kentucky Derby thing, but I'm planning something for let's just say fourth quarter that I can't speak about yet.
Okay.
That's pretty exciting. That I think I might try to convince you to come join me on.
Okay. Josh, I'm all about. I was looking at plane tickets. I can get round trip tickets for $50
Do it.
in May to go to the
Kentucky Derby?
for the
To the
weekend.
Kentucky Derby party, and then we drive up to the Oriole game.
But Josh, no, I didn't realize until I listened to your podcast
That
it's not in Baltimore. It's in freaking Virginia.
It's in Northern Virginia. So it's it's like an hour from Baltimore.
All right, but I'm not going to have a car or any means of transportation.
I will have a car. You fly into Northern Virginia. I'll pick you and Silas up. You guys hang out with me, and then I'll take you up to the ball game next day.
All right, I'll think about it. I was going to fly into Baltimore, get a hotel in Baltimore, and and not rent a car. Just take the light rail to Baltimore downtown.
All right, I am flying. Here's what I'm doing. I'm flying.
Also, I don't know why I would go to a Kentucky Derby party instead of going to the Orioles game. That's a whole other issue too.
I know. That's an issue. Trust me.
I mean, how often do I get to Baltimore now? And
I know.
Yeah,
I agree. Well, I'll tell you my plans.
Not to mention, there's a Star Wars bobblehead giveaway that Friday night too. So
Friday night
and Saturday night. It's like a whole bobblehead Star Wars weekend.
While
you're at the Home Run Derby party, you're gonna be missing out on a Colton Cowser Star Wars bobblehead.
No, my Kentucky Derby party is on Saturday night, so there's a chance I could go Friday and Sunday's game.
All right, well, I'm staying on Saturday night. There's a bobblehead giveaway.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I don't. You know how much I hate Star Wars.
I didn't know you hated Star Wars.
I hate Star Wars.
I thought you were kind of indifferent. I didn't know you.
I hate Star Wars so much.
Oh, okay, that's news to me.
Yeah.
You had a bad experience as a child or something?
I don't know. Yeah, I had a bad experience. I went and saw the originals in the theater when they re-released them. And then I saw all the remakes, or not remakes, the prequels, the 1, 2, and 3 that came after 4, 5, and 6 in the theaters as well. I saw 6 Star Wars movies in the theater, and I still hate them all.
Oh, I've never seen a Star Wars in the theater in my life.
Well, that's maybe why you're indifferent.
I saw a couple of them on TV. No, I'm sorry, I was incorrect. So Friday night is the Colton Cowser Star Wars bobblehead. Nothing on Saturday, and then Sunday is the Gunnar Henderson Star Wars bobblehead.
So my plan originally was to fly into Virginia Friday, drive up Saturday night or Sunday morning to Baltimore. But you're right. Maybe now I go into Baltimore, go to the game Friday, and then go to the game Sunday. I'll play with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that too.
You know what I'm gonna do this weekend?
Play with that too.
You know what I'm gonna do this weekend?
What are you gonna do this weekend?
Gonna hop in my car and drive across the state.
Oh, I thought you were about to play our old This Weekend music. Never mind.
This weekend. I don't know
I don't
know if I still have that sound. But this weekend, I'm gonna go to Sarasota.
Oh, you are? You're
I'm gonna go to the spring training opening day Saturday night.
Nice.
No, I think it'll be fun to go see some baseball.
Have you already gotten your tickets?
No.
Do you think it's gonna sell out?
I can always get them off StubHub or something. I just decided yesterday that I'm going to do this. So.
Okay. Hey, I'm looking on right now. I was thinking about going to because I'm next week. Not next week. The week after, I'm going to Arizona to Phoenix.
Yeah. You're going to go see Otani and.
Well, that's why I was excited. Like, do you want to go to a? And he was like, "Of course." I was like, "Well, who would you like to see?" And he said, the Dodgers."
Of course, yeah.
I mean, starting tickets there, Josh, the cheap seats, like the lawn or whatever, $55 for a ticket.
That is crazy.
For a spring training ticket, $55.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it would be to take the family. I mean, what are we talking about? $300. So we're not doing that. Instead, we're actually going to, and our schedule really doesn't allow a whole, because, we're going with the in-laws and they have us pretty jam-packed. The thing we are going to do a tour of the Chase Stadium, the Diamondback Stadium.
Oh, that's cool.
A tour of that. But we're not going to get to any spring training games, unfortunately.
Yeah, you got me thinking. I just pulled up in StubHub because I assume they're all sold out at the on the regular thing. StubHub, I can get tickets at for spring training on StubHub secondary market, $26
For the Orioles.
for the Orioles. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. But that's for opening night this Saturday. And by opening night, I mean 1:05 in the afternoon.
Right. That should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
What are you hoping to do when you get down there? You're hoping to I don't know. See some are you hoping to get some autographs? You're gonna do that? Are you gonna hope to are you gonna like feel the love handles of Adley Rutschman if you get close enough?
Yeah. Some close-up photos of Tyler O'Neill's legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I did, as we're all over the place, I did just purchase on eBay. It arrives, I think, Friday. An autograph. I have 2 slots on my baseball hanging thing that holds like baseball bats. Display case for baseball bats.
Yeah, you got Jorge Mateo's bat up there.
Yeah, and for my birthday, I got a gift card to eBay. So I went on eBay and I was able to purchase 2 autographed bats to fill it out. So right now I've got Mateo, Cal Ripken Jr., and Hank Aaron. So I've got.
I just love when you say that.
That Mateo's mixed in with that
Hank
group.
Aaron, one of the greatest home run hitters in the history of the game. The Iron Man, freaking Cal Ripken.
Yes.
And then Jorge Mateo.
Exactly. The
Just makes
future.
me laugh. Yeah.
Well, maybe these 2 names that are coming.
I'm guessing
help
the
bridge
bats
the
you
gap.
bought with a gift card on eBay are more like Jorge Mateo than Hank Aaron. But go ahead. What bats did you get?
Adam Jones
Okay, that's a cool one.
and Nick Markakis.
Okay.
A little
Yeah.
2110 Utah Street.
Yeah.
So I thought that'd be a cool little combo to have.
Yeah. Definitely closer to the Jorge Mateo.
Yes, definitely closer
kind
to
of thing.
Mateo.
Yeah, but no, that's cool.
No, the Hank Aaron one's still a little out of place. What I need to do is
I forget. What's the story with that? How'd you get
with
that
the Hank Aaron one.
Yeah.
Every now and then I look at the Hank Aaron one and I wonder if it's a forgery. So I had a client in McLean, Virginia, that swore he was like best friends with Hank Aaron, and that Hank Aaron would come over to his house all the time and everything, and that they grew up together and they were just close friends and
Have you
this
done any
relationship.
fact checking, like where Hank Aaron grew up, and if this is?
I did enough fact checking to see that they did have. I did find pictures on the internet of them together.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah. So he said. So this client told me, well, if you get this specific bat, Hank only signs this specific bat. So I got that bat and I got a ball and I dropped it off to him. And then a couple of weeks later, I went by there because Hank came and visited when he was in town for something, and he signed the ball and the bat for me. And the bat says, "Best wishes, Hank Aaron." And what I really need to do is try to get them, you know how you send them out for like the certification?
Yeah.
I really need to try to do that.
Yeah, you should with the Hank Aaron bat. You should, yeah.
Because I could probably sell that Hank Aaron bat. It's not really going to fit in with Cal Ripken Jr., Adam Jones, Nick Markakis, and you know who I should add up there? That I almost said instead of Mateo.
Brian Matt. Never mind. Who?
No. Felix PA.
Oh,
Because I saw one of those on eBay as well, and it made me laugh.
Mr. Cycle himself. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to look into how I get that certified.
Yeah, I would be an interesting buyer. I'm in Braves country.
You are.
So.
I'm also curious to see if it's a scam, and it might be. Because part of my problem is he was an old man when he signed it. So I don't know, like, did his signature change as he gets older?
Do you think his friend was going around doing fake signatures?
Well,
what was in it for him?
He had pictures of him and Hank in the house.
Yeah,
and he had lots of sports memorabilia up.
But like, what would be his reasoning for even wanting to give you a fake signatured bat?
There is no reason.
Yeah,
except that the people who are like if all of his stuff on his walls was signed by him, if it's all fakes, then I don't know. It's an ego thing.
Maybe he's trying to just perpetuate the story about himself. Yeah.
Right. So I'm not sure, but I need to check it out. There is a sticker on my Cal Ripken Jr. bat that says it's real.
Yeah.
And that was a gift from Steve Bisciotti.
Yeah, I remember
so I'm pretty confident in that one.
Yeah, Steve Bisciotti can get Cal Ripken's autograph.
Right. And the Jorge Mateo one is that's a game used bat by him from his agent or whatever. So that one I know is real.
Yeah. All right. And presumably the Adam Jones, like Markakis, has some verification on him, right?
Yes, they do. They come with verification.
Yeah. All right. Josh, we talked about a couple storylines. I mentioned the pitching side of things, the starting pitching.
I'm looking at a Hank Aaron bat right now online.
Yeah.
That looks very similar to mine, and it is listed for $3,000 for sale.
Yeah. That doesn't
So
surprise me.
I'll sell it to you for $1,200.
All right. Yeah,
Uncertified.
we can talk. We can talk.
Uncertified.
I'll put it in Sal's room. He loves. He's just reading a book about Hank Aaron. Loves him. No, I need it certified though first.
All right. Back to Orioles talk.
Yeah. Just spring. Now that we're here in spring training storylines. So we talked before about Josh is watching Adley Rutschman like a hawk. That's fine. He can do that. I mentioned before about the starting pitching, specifically to Tomoyuki Sagano, but also just how this whole starting pitching thing is going to shake out. I think we know Eflin, Grace Rodriguez. For some reason, he still just always makes me nervous about the injury stuff. I did hear him on WBL talking about how the Orioles gave him a different kind of workout routine this summer to get in shape or not get in shape, but kind of stay healthy. So presumably he can pitch a whole season. So that's, I guess, good news. But kind of, just seeing how the whole starting pitching thing shakes out.
Yeah.
Are there other storylines that you're paying attention to, Josh?
Well, the other thing on the pitching side is Segona, have we mentioned? It seems like he's coming in better shape and better off-season preparation than any of the other pitchers, just because of how the routine he has built up over in Japan. And I think it's interesting that Charlie Morton lives like 2 blocks away from the stadium in Sarasota. So he kind of signed with his hometown team.
Yeah, if you read the Charlie Morton quotes, Charlie Morton says all the right things. He seems like he's going to be another really good addition.
Oh, class act all the way.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about Charlie Morton more than I expected to be. Outside of that, it's Jackson Holliday. He seems like he put on some muscle, and I'm curious to see if Jackson Holliday can really show up this year because he was such a disappointment last year. And then I really storyline for me is Tyler O'Neill, because I think I did not realize how big the guy is. And I think that's going to come into play well with the long ball.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
Those are a few of my
I was
storylines.
always impressed with spring training, how big Dylan Bundy's legs were. I thought that would equal Cy Young, but it never really worked out for me. So, but yeah, I'm glad his arms are big. I think possibly the biggest storyline you didn't even mention.
All right.
Makes me wonder if you're not following the Orioles at all.
What is the biggest storyline that I have forgotten at the moment?
The Orioles' best pitcher coming back from injury, and how
Felix Bautista?
Yeah, Felix Bautista, right?
Yes.
Isn't that? But I feel like how will he look? How will the Orioles use him?
Yes, but I feel like that's a story I've been watching since like September. Every time you'll get glimpses of him throwing.
Yeah, at the end of the season.
Yep.
So he should be ready to go for regular season. Obviously, they're going to be careful with him. No 4-out saves for him.
Right. So, that's a big one. And you just unplugged your microphone.
Yeah. Did I plug it back in?
You are good now.
All right. So, the Felix Bautista, just, his stuff was so good. I just want to make sure his stuff is still that great and that elite. He just will come back from injuries.
I think Enrique Bradfield Jr., I'm really interested in, and I hope I get to see him this weekend, because he seems like he definitely put the work in this offseason. Again, a guy that seems like he put on some muscle and really focused on trying to bring power in his offense this offseason. So I'm curious to see if that will play, because I think that's really necessary for him to get the call up. His legs and defense, I think, are ready for the call up, and he's got to show that offensive power.
Yeah. Another who, in a similar vein, someone who's been getting a lot of hype this spring training is Sam Basayo. People have already been talking about him. And so I think Sam Basayo and the Orioles' plans with him, and I think it's something interesting to watch. If he has a great spring training,
Totally.
I don't think he's going to make it out of spring training, but does that kind of set up a prospect watch kind of every week at Norfolk to see when he's going to get called up? So that's another, I think, interesting, and looking at young players.
Yeah, because he is a guy that could force his way onto this team earlier than we were expecting.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the prospect watch this year is a little bit less intriguing than years past. Like last year, Jackson Holliday's prospect watch was pretty intriguing. But this year, I think the prospect on the bubble, it should be really interesting to watch. I think it's Kobe Mayo, right? He's a prospect on the bubble.
Yes.
He could make the team. He probably should make the team, but he also is in Norfolk, just a numbers game.
Right.
And so I think it's going to be interesting to watch Kobe Mayo.
Yeah. I think we do. I think that's what makes this team interesting is we have guys like Bradfield and Basello who are on the cusp. Needs a little bit of work, but they can get there. We've got Kobe Mayo who should make the team, but where do you play him? You've got veterans like Mateo and Urias who are veterans, but have these younger guys pushing them out. And you know what? I'll throw Cedric Mullins in that same category as guys that Cedric had a down year. Cedric's got to show something, or you're going to end up moving Colton Cowser to center, Tyler O'Neill to left, especially with the shortened wall, and give a chance to Kerstead and some of these other outfielders.
Laureano, who he signed,
over into right field. I think those veterans might be fighting for their jobs a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and we saw it last year, and it kind of took care of itself a little bit last year with the injury to Jorge Mateo, and Ramon Arias got hurt too. So, like, the injuries kind of helped solve some of that. But we also, we saw Austin Hayes get traded, right? And we heard news reports that were unverified, and I don't know how true they were, but maybe a little bit of tension between the veterans and the younger players. I think that's eased up a little bit.
Rumors.
Yeah, but that's still going to exist, right? In terms of the outfield, and you're right, Cedric Mullins seems to be the guy that is going to be watched closely this year. Right. And even, listen, if we're talking about Ryan Mountcastle and Kobe Mayo, it could be something there, right? If Ryan Mountcastle if he struggles out of the gate and Kobe Mayo is hot, maybe Kobe Mayo is your right-handed DH/first baseman over Ryan Mountcastle, and that could raise certainly something to watch throughout the course of the season.
Of course.
So and so I think looking at how prospects that the veterans are facing pressure, but also, Josh, we have to acknowledge that our prospects, Kobe Mayo, Jackson Holliday, even to a lesser extent, Heston Kjerstad, have struggled when they've been called up. And so I think something to watch is how these young players progress. You mentioned Jackson Holliday. I'm also paying attention to Heston Kjerstad. Kobe Mayo is right there with them. How will these younger players now having some at bats in the majors last year? How will they kind of step up in year two? Is something I'm watching for.
Right, and I think with Jackson Holliday, unless he has a really bad spring, he's getting a spot on this team.
Yes, it would be surprising if he's not the starting second baseman coming out of spring training.
Right, where Kobe Mayo, Heston Kjerstad, they still got to prove themselves.
Yeah, I think Kobe Mayo more so than Heston Kjerstad. I think it's Heston Kjerstad's spot to lose.
I don't know. We got a lot of outfielders.
I know we have a lot of outfielders who can hit left-handed.
Yes,
but if it's kind of like now or never for Heston Kjerstad. Do you know how old Heston Kjerstad is? And remember, he had myocarditis. He had the
COVID year, knocked him out. What's he? 27,
26.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's a little bit older, but he's only played in 52 games.
Right. Now in football, they always talk about his young knees. How his legs. You hear that about a running back who's been hurt for a couple of years. He hasn't played as many games. He's got young legs still.
Yeah. Well, I think there could be something that in terms of not young legs. I think it's the opposite almost in baseball, right? Where he hasn't had all the reps that other 26-year-olds have had, right? So it's almost like he's 20, 24, 23 in terms of reps.
Right.
Both in the minors and the majors.
Right.
And so
that's a negative.
It's a negative. And so he needs more reps. And so, but hopefully this is a year he gets a chance to have a bunch of reps.
I hope so. I like the kid.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, and last year he played in 39 games. In 2023, he played in 13 games. So it seems like, I mean, last year he played pretty well. It seems like it just makes sense that he would be the favorite for that left field spot going into the season. And hopefully he plays even against some lefties, but certainly he should be the everyday left fielder against right-handed pitching.
Left fielder? So you're thinking, oh, because you're saying move Colton to center field on those days.
Right. If Colton plays, well, I guess right fielder.
You're pushing Cedric out already. I know what you're doing.
No, right field to start the season. Yeah, right field to start the season. Cedric in center and Colton in left. But we talked about it before. If Cedric struggles, maybe Colton in center and O'Neill. I don't know. I mean, I guess with the wall coming in, because the weird thing is, Josh, normally, well, Camden Yards is weird, right? With the right field and then the left field wall. I don't even know what the dimensions are of the left field. They brought it in, but not as much as it was in before. So now it's just somewhere in between.
But in enough that it's not a second center field.
Right. But in most stadiums, I think Kerstedt would be a left fielder.
Yes.
I think. And then, but in Camden Yards, it makes more sense in right field because the shorter porch. And
right.
All right. Anyway, that's a digression on Camden Yards outfield.
All right. Can we talk about Michael Elias's misses?
Michael Elias's misses?
Yeah, the guy that Michael Elias had a chance to sign. Guy that could have been the comeback player of the year.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
All right. So are you upset that Michael Elias did not sign Trey Mancini?
Oh, you tricked me. You got me, Josh. You got me. I was all ready to talk about our left-handed no-hitting pitcher.
Trey Mancini, great guy. I hope he does well out in Arizona. We love Trey
Mancini. We root for him.
Yeah, root for him. There's obviously no spot for him in Baltimore. And I don't feel bad about that. There's no spot for him
in any majors. He has to earn his way back to the majors.
He does. But it would be a lot tougher in Baltimore than in Arizona. So good for him. I hope he can win comeback player of the year. Now, I am annoyed and devoted a whole Birdland today about this, that I'm annoyed that Michael Elias did not spend $1 million for John Means for this season, even though he won't be back till the summer, to take a flyer on. We've spent all this money on getting John Means healthy again. And I'm sure insurance covers a lot of that and everything. But either way, our facilities, our doctors working with him, our trainers, to get him back ready to play. And I would like to spend $1 million to see if that can happen here in Baltimore. You don't?
I disagree. I think this is like, you have an old beat up car that you kind of attach to and you really like because it got you through some times and you have a good history with the car. You had it through college.
But John Means isn't an old pitcher.
But Josh, just look at the numbers. He hasn't pitched since 2022. 2022, Josh, 2023, 2024. He's thrown for a combined 50 innings over those 3 years. In 2022, he threw 8 innings. In 2023, he threw 23 innings. In 2024, he threw 20 innings. That's the 3 past years. The most innings he's thrown is 23 innings. What? Now you want to sign him so you can what? Pay for his pay to fix him some more?
No, you've already paid everything to fix him.
No, he's not back yet. He's not healthy yet. So you're going to continue to pay him. And then what's going to happen? He's going to pitch a game and then get hurt again. At some point, you have to move on. Now, if he gets healthy with the Guardians and pitches there, and I don't know, does he have an opt-out or the team has that?
Team option for next year.
Okay, team option for next year.
$7 million, I believe.
Yeah, so you let the Guardians, let's see if he can get better with the Guardians. The Guardians, by the way, do a nice job developing pitching.
Yes,
they
do.
And then if the Orioles then want to have kind of reunite with John Means, then maybe we can have the conversation. But we already have a deep starting rotation with a bunch of mid-level guys. We don't need. I love John Means, but there's no fit. It's not a fit.
And I'll tell you, I get that because it was also going to be tricky come July when we have John Means is pushing to get back. Tyler Wells pushing to get back. Kyle Bradish pushing to get back.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's like, well, how do you fit all these guys into the rotation?
Yeah. No, it's true. It's like we don't need another guy that's going to be out till June. We have those guys already.
Yeah, and I understand that move. It just seems so cheap for pitching. And when we struggle with pitching so much, and I like John Means, that it hurt me to see that loss for $1 million.
Okay, I think he'll get paid probably $50,000 an inning this coming year.
I don't know. What's that? 20 innings?
Yeah, like 20 innings. So
Okay.
every time he goes out and pitches an inning, it's $50,000. That's pricey.
You're really working my math today.
Yeah, I know. I am. I'll have one more math one before we're all done. Yeah, so
All right, so you've convinced me. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
It's more of an emotional decision than a practical decision.
Yeah, I mean, John Means has a long history here.
I will try to leave the emotional takes to Jason LaCanfora.
Yeah. Like be mad we didn't re-sign Corbin Burns more than John Means. Who would you rather have, Corbin Burns or John Means?
But I put that all on Corbin Burns and not a money thing.
Yeah. No, I get that. I would do the same if I was Corbin Burns.
I know that I trash Adley Rutschman a lot about last season. But did you know that he has the highest first 3 seasons WAR by any catcher in MLB history?
Is that true?
Yeah, that's what Sarah Lang tweeted out. Adley has a 13.1 career WAR, the most by a catcher in the first 3 seasons of his career in MLB history.
Yeah, which says something about the catching position too.
Yes, I think it does.
Because
the eye test doesn't work.
But yeah, I mean, I think if you were to ask Josh, and shoot, I shouldn't do this off the top of my head, but if you were asked like ML, what don't they do like position rankings? Like Bustoni was talking about position.
You don't
rankings.
want that answer either.
Like where would he rank in terms of
the stat
in MLB?
Well, the stat I have in front of me is infield plus catcher. So our entire infield plus our catcher. Where would you rank the Orioles, 1 through 30?
Our entire infield plus catcher?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not an expert on the teams, but I would say we gotta be. I mean, I would say we have to be top 5. I would say 5.
How about top 1?
Really, first?
21.6. Yeah. Where would you put us in outfield plus DH?
A step down from the infield.
And these numbers are based on WAR. I think.
Projected WAR or past WAR?
Let's see.
WAR, like Zips projections for this coming year, or what we did last year?
This is based on Brookgate's. This is Fangraph's depth chart WAR projections. So this is projections for this year. Outfield plus DH, we come in at number 11.
Okay, that sounds right.
Starting pitching, we come in at number 23.
Again, sounds right.
Bullpen, we come in at number 5. If you're giving me number 1 for infield and number 5 for bullpen, I'll take that. That's exciting.
And a quick Google of top ranked catchers, and it really all comes down to Willie Contreras and Adley Rutschman.
Yeah,
who you want as a top catcher in the game,
right?
And so
Josh
might be critical, but I mean, we still have, according to almost everybody, a top 2 catcher in all of baseball, Adley Rutschman, even with his down year.
Yes, and I understand he had a down year, and I maybe went a little hard.
A down half, even maybe.
A down half, where he was really supposed to take that step up.
Yeah.
But I hope that's motivation for this year.
Yeah, but I think even like, also I think, I don't know, sometimes expectations can be a killer, and the expectations of Adley are so high that
yes, totally.
I think if he's a top 5 catcher in baseball, it'll be viewed by Orioles fans as a disappointment, right? We expect to have him to be the best catcher in baseball and one of the best players in baseball. Like he's supposed to be in the MVP running every year.
Like he should be the one that's supposed to be on the cover of the show, not Gunnar.
Yeah. And so I understand that Adley is upset and angry at Gunnar for stealing some of the lime.
No, he's not.
Just trying to sneak that one in there.
I'm glad that we have a team of close friends and brothers playing together.
Yeah, they seem to get along really well. So, and the additions, I don't know much about Tyler O'Neill. I haven't read much about him, but Morton and Saguna seems like great pickups that fit really well in the locker room. And I don't know about. I'm curious to see about how Gary Sanchez too, how he fits in the locker room too. I'm curious to hear more about that. I actually like the Gary Sanchez signing. I know a lot of people have panned it. I think he's a better offensive catcher than a lot of the other backups we've had here.
I also think he's a holdover. He's
right,
a placeholder.
Yeah, he's a 1-year guy.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's a. I mean, the other thing is I just never seen people get so fired up about a backup catcher before. Like,
correct.
What are we talking about here? We're talking
Yes.
about a backup catcher. We're talking about So I don't think he's even worth getting upset, but I think it is an upgrade over McCann. So I kind of like it.
Do you ever listen to? You don't listen to any comedy podcasts. So are you familiar with Kill Tony?
No.
Which is Tony Hinch. It's Tony Hinchcliffe's podcast where he brings comedians on and then gives up and coming people like a minute to perform. Anyway, his episode titles are always headlined by the guest of the week. And this week it popped up on my phone and it said the guest is James McCann. And I got excited thinking that it was a former catcher, but apparently there's another comedian named James McCann.
That's too bad.
So I was disappointed.
Yeah. You thought, well, I'm sure James McCann is more accomplished and has made more money than.
Yeah. I was like, I figured, well, he's got time on his hands. Maybe this is like something he's into. Yeah. And he's just going on there as he's a long-term MLB catcher, so can do whatever he wants, but it wasn't him.
Yeah. Did he pick up a job this year? Do we know updates on James McCann? Did he find somewhere?
Well, let me just check the James McCann watch.
Yeah, that hasn't come up yet in the in the Orioles?
No, 1 month ago the Twins were looking at him, but I do not have any news through Google from the past month. Let's see.
No. So he's still
11 hours ago. Viable catcher still available to many teams.
Is James McCann on that list?
Yes. No. It's a whole article about how someone should sign McCann because he's a good catcher and there's teams that could use him.
Yeah, he is a good catcher, and someone could probably use him.
I don't know. Do you enjoy the drama going on with Toronto and Vlad Guerrera and their contract issues and someone else that's holding out from spring training?
I mean, I really haven't been paying attention to that. I know I'm aware of some drama with the Red Sox and the signing of Alex Bregman.
Yeah.
And Rafael Devers is their best player, and he plays third base. And Alex Bregman is a Gold Glover, and he plays third base. And so, who plays third base? The guy who's better at third base, or the guy who's your kind of franchise player and makes more money? Who plays third base? And when when they asked Rafael Devers about moving to DH, he said he didn't like that idea. So I'm, in fact, he says he kind of refuses to. And so I'm excited to see the drama with the Red Sox. But if there's also drama with Vlad and the Blue Jays, I'm here for that as well.
Yeah, as of Tuesday night, Vlad said, "I'm here. We didn't get an agreement. They're going to have to compete with 29 other teams." So
okay, and then it said with Pete Abraham of the Boston Globe reported that Devers is not interested in becoming a designated hitter. And he said, here's the quote from Devers when asked about moving to DH so Bregman could play third. The quote is from Devers, "No, I play third." And so
I play third.
Yeah. And then
see,
and they said that he made it clear to the manager, Alex Cora, that he plays third as well, and he's not moving positions.
So is Bregman open to changing?
That's what they're saying. Bregman might end up at second base.
That's funny.
Even though he's clearly, he just won the Gold Glove at third base, and Devers is a below average third base.
And that's just setting up drama, like unnecessary drama on your team. Yeah. That's why I love that we don't have that, because we've got these young guys that like each other.
Yeah. Boston, you talk about spring trainings too, interesting watch. Like the Yankees lost Soto, but they also signed a bunch of guys like Max Fried and Goldschmidt. And so, they should be interesting to watch. And Boston signed a bunch of players too. Alex Bregman, the latest, but they also, added Crochet and did they Walker Buehler too? And so they got significantly better. So I think the AL East is going to be a freaking gauntlet. So I think it's going to be a real challenge. But yeah, I'm curious to also watch and see how the Yankees are without Soto, and to see the Boston with all these new pieces, how they fit in. I'm curious to watch that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well.
Have we got any news, Josh, on? I should have done some show prep for this, but in terms of televised games, when can I watch a spring training game?
This Saturday's game is on TV.
Oh, it is? Okay.
There is about 7 games that are on TV. I think 20 that are on TV or radio.
I know it's hard when you have the cornhole tournaments on Masson to fit in.
I know you got to get around cornhole
and
poker and infomercials.
Yeah.
There's a great chart going around. Let me see if I have it. There's a great chart going around on Twitter. Yeah, it's right here. You know what? I will post this in tomorrow's newsletter. But this chart does a great job at showing what Oriole spring training games are available on TV, on the radio, and on the opponent television.
Okay, but we're not at Orioles on Masson are broadcasting every game.
Let's see.
We're not there yet.
Let's see. Masson is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games on Masson TV, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games on the radio.
Are they different, or some of them are the same?
Some are the same.
Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous.
8 out of what?
Did you see
25 or something?
Cleveland Guardians this week also announced, or last week, no blackouts. And not only no blackouts, for $99, you can buy an MLB TV package to watch every single Guardian game, home or away, even if you're in the Cleveland market.
You're telling me people in Cleveland can actually watch the Guardians? That doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, Josh.
Right. Exactly. You mean it's what the Orioles need to be out as a mid-market, small market team. They need to be out on the forefront, just like Cleveland on this, and let you watch it on the app anywhere.
I mean, it's stupid that one of the best things about living out of state is you can have more opportunity to watch the Orioles. Like that.
Right. Exactly. It's silly.
Stupid. It's a perk for moving out of state. You can watch the Orioles without interruption on MLB TV. That's stupid. And I'm reading a Mike Lupica book with Silas, and there was a Derek Jeter reference that Derek Jeter was in the game. I was like, oh, this is an old book, Derek Jeter reference. And then the next chapter, he talked about going home and turning his laptop and watching MLB TV. Like, MLB TV has been around for a while.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Remember, that was the foundation for what every other sports now uses for their streaming.
Yeah, they were great at that. Great at social media. Initially,
it's just the blackouts that they're screwing with.
And this is going on for so long. It's ridiculous. Hey, Josh, I know we're running out of time though. Can I just say, like, Silas has been so into all the All-Star festivities. I told you before I watched the Pro Bowl, I was kind of in it. I watched all the All-Star game stuff. I watched the skills competition. I watched the 3-point contest. I watched every minute of the dunk contest, which is actually a lot of fun. And I watched almost every All-Star game of all the All-Star games, but then I had to go to bed.
I saw the Mr. Beast challenge today.
Oh,
I saw the winner of the Mr. Beast challenge.
Yeah, we had to make a 3 before the other guy made 3.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been into the whole thing. I like it. They had Kevin Hart, who I think is a knucklehead, but it's kind of fun to see him interact with Shaq and Charles Barkley, and it's kind of fun. So anyway, I'm here for all the festivities. I'm back in on all the All-Star games. Awesome. Even in the NHL, I didn't even know this thing was happening until Silas told me about it. So an NHL thing, I don't really understand.
What, the USA Canada?
Yeah, it's like their All-Star break, and they're doing this freaking competition that people are super into.
It's like it's like when baseball does the World Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I didn't understand is there was a big highlight this weekend of Canada and American players fighting.
Yeah.
But both players were from Florida.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand how that worked.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on them booing the national anthem?
Well, when does Toronto come to town?
Yeah, but we have no real reason to. This is a little bit like a Yankee Tampa Bay Rays situation.
It really is.
Where if I was a Canadian, I would probably boo us too, because we're obnoxious. And politics are obnoxious right now if you're Canada. So I would boo us too.
You know what it is? It's like when the Yankees and the Red Sox rivalry was going really strong, and we would be in Baltimore and swear that our biggest rival is in New York, and New York didn't care about us. They had
Yeah. No. So I get the hate there, and I'm okay with the booing.
Yeah, I don't care. Do what you do.
Yeah. All right. And I'm gonna watch the stupid hockey game on Thursday too. I have it marked to watch the championship Canada and America on Thursday. I'm kind of into it, so I'll watch it.
I might now that you told me it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah. It's Silas now. He like pays attention to all these sports. I don't even know. He doesn't go on. He doesn't have access to obviously X or YouTube or something.
Yeah, but he goes.
I don't know where he gets the information.
He goes to school.
I guess it's where. Are they talking about hockey at school?
I guess so. I don't know.
But he comes home and tells me about, or not even just come home, but just like walk up to me and say, about this hockey game and other stuff. I'm like, where? How do you know this stuff?
Right. How do you suddenly know more than me?
I think we reached that point. I was like, we were looking at the NBA schedule for this week because he likes to stay up and watch the games, and I let him watch a game every now and then. So he's kind of picking his favorite game. And he was looking at like the Cavaliers and Knicks. He's like, oh, Dad, they're two of the top teams in the East. I was like, the Knicks, they only have Jalen Brunson. They don't have anybody else. And then he was like, they also have Karl Anthony Towns. And I was like, how do you know that who the Knicks have? That was just a trade that happened this past offseason. Like he is, I think, in the midst of surpassing me in terms of knowledge.
Is he
NBA?
Is he a Brony fan?
No, I don't know. No. I mean, it was fun for us in the All-Star game to watch because our favorite player is Victor Wembanyama, who's not on the Hawks, but Victor Wembanyama was playing with Trae Young on the same team.
Okay.
And Trae Young's our guy here in Atlanta. So that was fun to watch them play together. But no, it's because the West Coast games, he never gets to see Bronny or LeBron.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because they're on at 10 o'clock usually.
Right.
So I'm ready to sleep. All right, we've gone long.
Yeah, we have.
Just spring training. We're excited. We're all over the place this episode, but we're excited.
Yeah. In a couple of weeks, we're going to have a guest on to talk about Earl Weaver because there's a cool new Earl Weaver book coming out in March.
All right.
And there's an advanced copy on their way to your house.
Yes, let's go.
So
I'm pumped. I'm finishing reading up a book right now that I'll probably finish in the next couple of days. So hopefully that book will arrive soon so I can transition nicely.
Yeah, it'll arrive next week, I think.
All right, cool.
But
forward to it.
So far, I'm into it. It's pretty good. It's fun to really dig into a guy that, was before us, but we've heard lots of stories about.
Yeah, I was talking to Silas about him. He didn't know who Earl Weaver was. And I was because there's a book in the Ballpark Mystery books he's reading where the manager gets thrown out.
Well, you should play
dirt. And I was going to pull up a video on my phone. I was like, is there cursing on there?
Yeah, you should pull up.
Appropriate.
You should pull up the radio interview where the lady calls about her roses, or about her tomato plants.
Calls about her tomato plants.
Yeah. Okay. I'll send you the link. I'm sure you've heard this.
All
right. Let's get out of here.
All right, boys and girls. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, we're getting into baseball season here. Share it. Tell your friends. This is your stop for Orioles takes. For Orioles commentary as we get the season started.
I just cleaned up section336.com so it looks new and different.
Oh, nice. Season. I haven't been there in a long time. I'll have to check that out. So go there. Follow us on all your social media platforms.
You know what's cool there? Is you can go to section336.com and leave us an iTunes review right there. You don't have to go to Apple Podcasts.
Love that. So go check out the new website and leave us a review. Helps other people to find the show. Follow us on X. You can follow me at Section336. You can also follow Josh on X.
At Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.